the fantastically true story of Herbert A. Philbrick, who for 9 frightening years did lead 3 lives. Average citizen, high-level member of the Communist Party, and counter-spy for the Federal Bureau of Investigation. For obvious reasons, the names, dates, and places have been changed, but the story is based on fact. In the Communist Party, changes of policy sometimes occur so suddenly and completely that they leave the comrades themselves in a state of semi-confusion. This is the story of one of those policy changes and its results. No better place to find out about communists than at communist headquarters, is there, Philbrick? Especially when the FBI wants information about the new Red Boss.
Comrade Mary.
Yes?
Add these 2 names to the personnel of tonight's meeting.
Yes, comrade.
Have all the others been notified?
All but 2. I've left messages.
Follow up until you reach them personally. I don't want any slip-ups.
I'll make sure everyone is here.
Good.
Morning, comrade.
Oh, Comrade Herb. I thought you'd finished your pamphlet. I didn't expect to see you this morning.
Well, I just want to make a few more notes. I like to work here at party headquarters. Can I use the typewriter?
Yes. I called your office a few minutes ago.
Oh?
Comrade Brisson has called a meeting tonight at 8 o'clock. You are to attend.
Oh. What's the meeting about?
We are to be addressed by a member of the party policy group.
I better be sure this pamphlet's finished, then. It has to do with party policy. Comrade Mary.
Yes?
Is Comrade Brisson to be a permanent leader here, or is he on temporary assignment?
For the correct answer to that question, I suggest you talk to Comrade Brisson. He's right in there.
Well, I wasn't getting nosy, if that's what you mean. I'm just interested in him. And I admire his militancy, his Marxist understanding.
Hello? I'm very busy at the moment. Can it wait? Oh, I see. Well, if it's that urgent, I'll come right away. Comrade Herb, I have to leave for about 10 minutes, and it's very important. Will you notify these 2 people about tonight's meeting?
Oh, sure. This is what you've been waiting for, Philbrick. A moment alone with that unlocked file. I-J-K-L, Lab, Lar. Here it is. Laycock. Brisson Laycock. All right. Memorize it, Philbrick. It's the only way you'll ever get it out.
Comrade Herb.
Comrade Brisson?
Why are you going through those files?
I was just, looking up these people's telephone numbers.
And why were you looking up those people's telephone numbers?
Because Comrade Mary asked me to.
Orders are to be carried out, not passed on to someone else. You should know that, even if Mary doesn't.
I was only trying to be agreeable.
Comrade Herb, there is such a thing as being annoyingly agreeable.
Aren't you being a little unreasonable?
Where the party is concerned, you'll probably discover that I'm a most unreasonable man. Here, I'll take these. Now, Comrade Herb, whatever you have to do, would you kindly do it somewhere else until 8 o'clock this evening?
Why don't you ask him to step up here and see me at FBI headquarters? Yeah, my name is Henderson. Just on to ask for Special Agent Henderson. Thanks for calling.
Yeah? Hello, I'd like to speak to the party that advertised a typewriter for sale.
Speaking.
Well, I'm interested in getting a machine. Where could I see it?
I loaned it to a friend of mine. He's stopping at the Sem Green Hotel. Would you like to stop up and take a look?
How soon?
About 20 minutes. Room 403.
I'll be there.
Good. This is Henderson. Will you clear the lobby of the Sem Green? Philbrick's coming through in about 20 minutes.
Please.
Come in.
Hi. What gives? I got to look at Brisson Laylock's file card. Take this down fast before I forget it.
Shoot.
Circle 6. Circle 226. 6 circle 2. Try that on your decoder.
That shouldn't give us too much trouble. What else could you find out about Brisson? Is there anything else on his card?
Address and phone number.
No, we've already got that.
Yeah. There were a few other figures at the bottom of the card that I couldn't get. Brisson himself caught me in the act.
Oh?
Yeah, I think I got away with it, but I'm not sure. Especially since he called me annoyingly agreeable.
Why not be disagreeable? No, I mean it, Herb. This may be the cure, an act of reluctance on your part.
You mean disagree with some of his ideas?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, it could be. Maybe I'll get a chance tonight when I read a pamphlet for the party policy group. Well, I got a dash. I'm still in the advertising business.
Good luck, Herb. Oh, I want to use this room for contacts for the next few days. We've got it staked out for another reason, so it'll be perfectly safe.
Okay. So long.
So long, Herb.
Comrades, we've just been notified that our guest speaker for this evening has been unavoidably detained. So we'll wait. In the meantime, there are a number of other items I'd like to call to your attention. As you all know, party policy calls for what practically amounts to a peace offensive. Now, this is to be accomplished in many different ways, and all of us must be more active in working for it. Until our guest arrives, perhaps Comrade Herb will outline the pamphlet he's prepared for us on this subject.
This pamphlet, comrades, when it's authorized for distribution, must be handled with extreme care. It must never be connected in any way with the Communist Party. Instead, it must seem to be sponsored by American wives and mothers whose only interest, whose only purpose is peace. Peace with the entire world. Now, perhaps I could read a couple of lines from this pamphlet. This insatiable lust for war, rampant in the minds of men from the beginning of human history, can be conquered if we will but join hands and do it, instead of talking about it. Are we Americans afraid of communism? Ridiculous. A few individuals here and there whose thoughts on political ideology differ from ours should not keep us awake nights in fear and trembling. No thinking person will go for that kind of red bait.
Comrade Luther, how do you do?
How do you do?
You will give Comrade Luther your undivided and complete attention.
As there is much to be accomplished and the time is short, I will come to the point immediately. We are to embark upon a new policy, a campaign of tactical violence, designed to create a feeling of intense unrest. This area is to be a testing ground for this new policy. I have here a manifesto which will outline the points to receive attention. A copy will be left with you for study, and then it is to be destroyed. We expect your 100% cooperation. That'll be all.
I will now read from the Policy Manifesto. The thought to plant in the average person's mind is that it is no longer safe to appear on the streets. The country is getting out of control, that corrupt authorities sit by while innocent people are being maimed and perhaps killed by uncontrollable violence. There are to be fights, riots, broken windows, traffic disruptions, telephone threats, vandalism, and anything else that will help to establish confusion, discontent, fear, and unrest. That is the end of the manifesto. Is there any comment?
I have a comment, comrade.
Well?
I think this change in policy is a mistake.
A mistake, Comrade Herb. May I remind you that the party does not make policy mistakes.
I'll grant you they don't intend to, Comrade Brisson, but let's apply a little reason to this situation.
And what is your concept of reason, Comrade Herb?
Just this. Here we've been working our heads off, trying to lull the public into a false sense of security, to lull them to sleep. And now you propose to wake them up with a crash that'll be heard from one end of the country to the other. I tell you, comrades, this campaign of tactical violence will bring the local authorities down on our heads with a crash. Connect us once with an act of disturbance, and we'll be blamed for every act of disturbance. The fascist press will be screaming that the Communist Party wants to destroy the country.
And we will scream that the fascist press is a bunch of liars.
And whose voice do you think they'll believe? Ours or theirs? No, comrades. I tell you, this campaign will drive us further underground. Now, I'd gladly accept the rule of our leader. I'd gladly give my life for the Communist Party. But all I say is, let's not lose sight of our singleness of purpose, which is not the annoyance of, but the ultimate overthrow of tyrannical rule and oppression. Let's wait with violence until we can make it really big.
The meeting is dismissed. You will leave as I call your names. But we'll gather again very soon to discuss ways and means of complying with party policy. Comrade Jane.
The fat's in the fire, Philbrick. We'll find out presently if Comrade Brisson still considers you annoyingly agreeable.
Comrade Thomas.
You're being kept after school, Philbrick, and it isn't because your teacher's pet.
Comrade James. Comrade Herb.
Good night, comrade.
Just a minute. Comrade Herb, I have great respect for your devotion to duty and your willingness to work. But criticism of the party must not occur again.
I'm sorry, comrade.
Comrade Herb, your trouble is in clinging to this ridiculous thing you call individual thinking. Now, this can only lead to confusion, because there are so many individuals who think so many different things. That's why there should be no reluctance in carrying out party orders.
I'm sure I understand that.
That's all. Good night.
Good night.
Oh, just a moment, please. I'm already late for another appointment. I'll go next. Follow me in a few minutes.
Was that meant for you, Philbrick? If it was, it means you've gone just a little bit too far.
authorities are unable to account for the sudden wave of senseless violence which has swept the city during the past 12 hours. But the police department is working double shifts in an effort to meet this new threat to life and property.
You're working with the local police department on this, aren't you?
Yes, but it's a big city here. That's the trouble. We never know where or when they're going to strike next.
Watchword of the communists these days seems to be threaten, destroy, kill.
Inspirational, isn't it? That's exactly what we're afraid of.
What if a few of these characters were caught in the act and identified as communists?
Well, that's what we're working towards. We don't want to drive them underground.
Well, I'll see what I can do to help.
My advice to you, Herb, is to lay low for a while. This gentleman that you've been fooling around with has already got a couple of notches on his political gun.
Brisson Laylock?
Yes. But thanks to your report on his card, we've been able to pinpoint him. He's been pretty close to the top brass.
Oh?
Yes, and he wouldn't hesitate a minute to liquidate a traitorous comrade.
I know. It's just dumb luck that I didn't take that beating in the alley.
At least he deserved it. You heard any more about that?
Yeah. Turned out to be an overzealous comrade who thought I was getting out of line.
By the way, we found out that Brisson is an illegal entrant.
When do you take him out of circulation?
We're not ready yet.
Oh. We're having another meeting in about an hour. If anything big comes up, I'll get in touch with you on the private line.
Good. I'll be waiting here.
So long.
You're late.
I'm sorry, comrade. It couldn't be avoided.
Take your seat. Comrades, our new party policy is a complete success. Never before has such fear, terror, and confusion been so rampant in the streets of this city. And tomorrow, it will be our day. There are windows to be smashed and traffic disrupted, as well as supposed hoodlum activity. Indeed, comrades, tomorrow will be a great day for the party.
Listen closely, Philbrick, and remember every assignment, so that tomorrow may also be a great day for the FBI.
A pair of rubber gloves and wire cutters. At the end of Laverne Street, there is a transformer which serves a wide area. This is to be put out of commission.
Thanks. Let me know if anything new comes up.
Well?
They're still doing a good bit of damage. The police made several arrests, including a couple of known communists.
Good. Maybe that'll cool Brisson down a little bit. The way he was crowing, you'd think this whole violence idea was his.
It could be. At least he's been close enough to the top to exert some influence.
Hey, come to think of it, when he talked about my pamphlet, there was a deep note of sarcasm. He must have known all along that there was going to be a change in policy.
But with the way that things have gone today, Herb, stay away from it.
That, I assure you, would be a pleasure. I'll see you. Oh, and thanks for the sandwich.
I think your uncle owes you at least a sandwich, Herb.
Well, this is most fortunate, Philbrick. You're just the person I've been looking for.
Comrade Brisson, this is a surprise.
Yes, isn't it? Let's take a little walk, shall we? It's a fine day.
You mind telling me where we're going?
Just say we both need a little exercise, shall we?
Do you mind being a little more specific, comrade? I've got an important appointment in the office.
The It can wait. It is very obvious that a number of our comrades are missing this afternoon. Missing because of their devotion to duty and their willingness to carry out party orders. It is also very obvious that there has been a leak in our security. Comrade Lothar is very unhappy. This morning I was compelled to give him a complete report of everything that has happened within this room these past few days, including Comrade Herb's objection to carrying out party orders. Good afternoon, Comrade Lothar.
Comrade Brisson informs me one member of this group has objected to the recent change of policy. Will that member please come forward? And what was the basis of your objection?
Well, it seemed to me like deviationism.
Go on.
Well, I felt that we were merely tossing darts at the shoulder of the bull, rather than quietly sharpening the sword of revolution to strike a fatal blow.
Do you still think so?
Well, frankly, yes, I do.
Comrade Herb is a very stubborn thinker.
I must interrupt you, comrade, and say that you have not done the party or yourself any good with your ideas.
I don't understand.
You will, in a different and in a less important capacity. But due to the ghastly failure of the new policy, the campaign of tactical violence is at an end. From now on, we have one purpose only: to lead this nation out of the darkness of capitalism into the glorious light of social freedom. Let us work to implant a false sense of security in the minds of the public. Let us take communism off of the front pages of the newspapers and into the hearts of men and women. Let us quietly sharpen the sword of revolution and be ready to strike that fatal blow. I am sure the party will have more important work for you in the very near future.
Thank you, comrade. I'll be humbly grateful. And I'm sure the FBI will be grateful also.
And comrades, we expect 100% cooperation.
Comrade Herb, do you still have the pamphlet you were writing?
No, it was destroyed.
Would you mind rewriting it again? We must print it and distribute it as soon as possible. It'll be a most important weapon in our campaign for peace.
I understand, comrade.
And, comrade, in your writings, bear in mind that we must lull the stupid and ignorant masses into a false sense of security. Convince them that there is no danger of any kind from any direction. Then when the day comes, and it will come, victory will be assured.
Yes, comrade. I'll bear that in mind. And if that day ever comes, comrade, you'll probably have less luck than you had today. Thanks to prompt action by the FBI and the police department, the tactical violence policy was a complete failure and served to drop a dangerous and vicious comrade from a position of authority. Next week, another story from the files of a man who spent 9 fantastic years as a counter-spy for the Federal Bureau of Investigation. This is a story, a fantastically true story, from the files of Herbert A. Philbrick, who for 9 frightening years did lead 3 lives.